Commander Lee Dong-hyun stared at the glowing screens in Luna Base's command center. His coffee had gone cold hours ago, but he didn't care. Something was wrong with the deep space sensors. Very wrong. "Sir, you need to see this," called Lieutenant Park Min-soo from his station. His voice shook slightly. "We're getting massive energy readings from the outer edge of the solar system." Dong-hyun walked over to Park's workstation. The young officer had been monitoring space traffic for 3 years. He had never sounded this worried before. "Show me," Dong-hyun said. The main display lit up with a star map of the solar system. Dozens of red dots appeared near the edge, moving slowly toward Earth. Each dot was huge, much bigger than anything humans had ever built. "How many ships?" Dong-hyun asked. "At least 3,000, sir, maybe more. They're coming from the direction of Tau Ceti." Dong-hyun felt his stomach drop. Tau Ceti was 12 light-years away. No human ship could travel that far. These were not human vessels. "Get me Admiral Choi on secure channel," he ordered. "Priority 1. While Park made the connection, Dong-hyun studied the incoming fleet. The ships were arranged in perfect formation. They moved with purpose, not like explorers or traders. This looked like a military force. Admiral Choi Hyun-woo's face appeared on the screen. Even through the video link, Dong-hyun could see the tension in the older man's eyes. "Report, Commander," Choi said. "Sir, we have contact. Unknown fleet approaching, from Tau Ceti. Estimated 3,000+ vessels. They'll reach Mars orbit in 18 hours. Choi was quiet for a long moment. "Are you certain these are not ours?" "Positive, sir. The energy signatures are completely unknown. Ship sizes range from frigate class to something we're reading as 15 kilometers long." 15 kilometers? Choi's voice was barely a whisper. The largest human ship was only 2 kilometers from end to end. "Yes, sir. What are your orders?" "Prepare. First contact protocols. Send Captain Kim Ji-won's diplomatic team. And Commander, quietly alert all defense stations. Just in case." The connection ended. Dong-hyun turned to his crew. "You heard the Admiral. Battle stations, but keep it quiet. We don't want to panic anyone yet." 3 hours later, Captain Kim Ji-won guided her ship Harmony toward the alien fleet. She had been Earth's best diplomat for 15 years. If anyone could make peaceful contact, it was her. "Unknown vessels, this is Captain Kim Ji-won of Earth ship Harmony," she broadcast on all frequencies. "We come in peace. We represent the human race and welcome you to our solar system." Silence. Kim tried again, this time in different languages. Still nothing. "Captain," her communications officer said, "I'm detecting scanning beams. They're studying our ship." "Let them look," Kim replied. "Maybe they need to understand us before they talk." The alien fleet continued its steady approach. Now they were close enough for visual contact. Kim stared through her ship's windows at the massive vessels. They were dark and angular, covered in strange symbols. No running lights. No signs of life. The largest ship sat in the center of the formation. It was a monster of metal and alien technology. Gun ports lined its hull like eyes. Kim had never seen anything so terrifying and beautiful at the same time. "Still no response to our signals, Captain," the comm officer reported. "Keep trying. Use mathematical sequences, prime numbers, anything that shows intelligence." On Luna Base, Dong-hyun watched the meeting through long-range cameras. The human diplomatic ship looked like a tiny insect next to the alien giants. "Sir," Park called out, "I'm reading massive energy buildup on the lead alien ship." "What kind of energy?" "Unknown type, but the readings are off the charts. More power than our entire lunar grid." Dong-hyun felt ice in his veins. "Get me, Captain." "Kim. Now." Before Park could make the connection, space lit up with deadly fire. The alien flagship fired first. A beam of pure energy lanced out and struck orbital station Alpha. The station, home to 5,000 people, simply vanished. No explosion, no debris, just gone. "Dear God," whispered Park. More beams fired from other alien ships. Station Beta tried to raise its shields, but the alien weapons cut through them like they weren't there. Another 5,000 lives ended in seconds. All stations, this is Luna Base, Dongyun shouted into his comm. We are under attack. Repeat, we are under attack. This is not a drill. Captain Kim's ship Harmony was trying to retreat when an alien cruiser targeted it. Kim had seconds to live. Earth, this is Harmony, she broadcast. They're not here to talk. They're here to destroy us. Tell my family I... The transmission cut off as Harmony joined the orbital stations in oblivion. Pilot Sergeant Yoon Tae-ho was on patrol near Mars when the attack began. He watched the orbital stations die and felt rage like nothing he had ever experienced. Luna Base, this is Tae-ho. I'm engaging the enemy. Negative, Sergeant. Return to base immediately. That's an order. With respect, sir, there won't be a base if we don't stop them now. Tae-ho pushed his fighter to maximum speed. His ship was fast and small. Maybe he could do some damage before they killed him too. The alien fleet was now moving faster, heading straight for Earth. They fired on everything they saw. Cargo ships, mining stations, even small personal craft. Nothing was spared. On Earth, emergency sirens wailed in every city. Admiral Choi appeared on every screen and communication device on the planet. Citizens of Earth, he said, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. We are under attack by forces unknown. Our military is responding. Stay calm and follow emergency procedures. We will survive this. But privately, Choi wasn't sure they would survive. The aliens had destroyed 6 major installations in 20 minutes. Human weapons seemed useless against their technology. Major Song Minji was in her laboratory when the attack began. She was Earth's top physicist, working on new defense technologies. Now those projects seemed more important than ever. Get me everything we have on energy weapons, she told her team. We need to understand how they're cutting through our shields. The alien fleet was now past Mars and closing on Earth. Their formation had spread out, surrounding the planet like a net. There was no escape. Donghyun received reports from all over the solar system. The aliens were destroying everything they found. Communication satellites, research stations, even unmanned probes. They wanted humanity completely cut off. Sir, Park said, I'm getting reports from the outer colonies. Titan base is under attack. Europa station has gone dark. How long until they reach Earth? 6 hours, sir. 6 hours to prepare for the end of human civilization. The alien Armada moved like death itself through space, their weapons ready and their purpose clear. Humanity's greatest test was about to begin. Dr. Song Minji had not slept for 36 hours. Her laboratory was filled with broken alien technology recovered from the destroyed orbital stations. Every piece was a puzzle that might save humanity. The energy patterns don't make sense, she told her assistant, Dr. Kang Seojin. Their weapons are powerful, but they use too much energy. There has to be a weakness. Kang looked up from his computer screen. His eyes were red with exhaustion. I found something. The alien shields pulse every 2.7 seconds. During that pulse, they drop to 30% power. Show me, Minji said, rushing to his workstation. The screen displayed wave patterns from the alien ships. Sure enough, every few seconds there was a clear drop in shield strength. It lasted only a fraction of a second, but it was there. This is it, Minji whispered. This is how we hurt them. Meanwhile, Captain Yoon Tae-ho was leading a dangerous mission near Jupiter. His stealth fighter squadron had volunteered to spy on the alien fleet. They needed to learn everything about the enemy ships. Stay close to the asteroids, Tae-ho told his pilots over the comm. Use the rocks as cover. We need to get close without being seen. Lieutenant Bae Somin was flying behind him. She was young but skilled. Captain, I'm seeing something strange. The big ships are slow to turn. They take almost a minute to change direction. Good observation, Somin. What else do you see? Their weapons are fixed forward. They can't shoot behind them very well. Tae-ho smiled. This was useful information. The alien ships were powerful but not flexible. They were built for fighting other big ships, not small fighters. Oh, Youngman, what's your status? Tae-ho asked. Youngman was the newest pilot in the squadron. He had just finished training when the war started. I'm seeing patrol patterns, Captain. The aliens send out scouts every 4 hours. Same routes every time. They're predictable, Taiho said. That's another weakness. Back on Earth, Admiral Choi was meeting with world leaders. The situation was desperate. The aliens had destroyed half of humanity's space infrastructure in just 2 days. We need new tactics, Choi told the group. Our big ships can't fight their big ships. We need to think differently. President Kim Dae-ho of Korea spoke up. What about our fighters? They're small and fast. 1 fighter against a 15-kilometer ship? Asked the European representative. That's suicide. Not 1 fighter, Choi said slowly. Thousands of fighters, all working together. The idea was crazy. No one had ever tried to coordinate thousands of small ships in battle. But crazy was all they had left. Dr. Minji presented her findings to the military leaders. We can hurt them, but only for a split second every few seconds. We need perfect timing. How perfect? Asked Admiral Choi. Down to the millisecond. Human reflexes aren't fast enough. We need computer assistance. Engineer Kang Seojin had been working on this problem. I have a solution. We link all our fighters with quantum communication. The computers can share information instantly. When one ship finds the shield weakness, all ships know immediately. Will it work? Choi asked. Don't know, Kang admitted. We've never tried anything like this before. Captain Im Junho was training new pilots at the Mars Academy. The academy was far from Earth, which made it safe for now. Junho had been teaching for 5 years, but now his students would face real combat. Forget everything you learned about formation flying, he told them. The aliens expect us to fly in straight lines. We need to be unpredictable. One student raised her hand. How do we hit something if we're flying randomly? We don't fly randomly, Junho explained. We fly chaotically. There's a difference. Chaos has patterns, but the patterns change constantly. He showed them combat footage from Taiho's reconnaissance mission. See how the alien guns track our ships? They predict where we're going to be. If we change direction at the last second, they miss. The students watched as human fighters dodged alien fire by making sudden turns and loops. It looked impossible, but it worked. Lieutenant An Ji-young was working on a different problem. She commanded a squadron of bombers, and bombers needed to get close to do damage, but the alien shield stopped everything. What if we don't try to break through? She asked her weapons officer. I don't understand, Lieutenant. The shields stop our bombs from going in, but what if our bombs were already inside when they exploded? Her weapons officer stared at her. Phase bombs? That's theoretical technology. Everything is theoretical until someone builds it, Ji-young said. Get me Dr. Minji on the comm. Pilot Nam Dae-hyun was flying patrol near Earth when he encountered his first alien scout ship. The scout was smaller than the big alien ships, about the size of a human cruiser, but it was still much bigger than his fighter. Earth Control, this is Dae-hyun. I have visual on an alien scout. Requesting instructions. Dae-hyun, avoid contact, return to base. But Dae-hyun noticed something. The scout ship was scanning the area methodically, section by section. It was following a program, not thinking, for itself. Control, I think this ship is automated. It's not reacting to my presence. Dae-hyun, return to base. That's an order. Instead, Dae-hyun flew closer. The alien ship continued its scan pattern, ignoring him completely. He was right. It was a robot. Control, if this ship is automated, then it has weaknesses. All robots have weaknesses. He began flying in complex patterns around the alien scout. Sure enough, the ship's sensors couldn't keep up with his movements. When he flew directly at it, the ship tried to turn away but was too slow. Control, I'm engaging the enemy. Dae-hyun fired all his missiles at point-blank range. The alien scout's shields held for a moment, then failed. The ship exploded in a ball of green fire. Control, this is Dae-hyun. Enemy scout destroyed. I repeat, enemy scout destroyed. It was humanity's first victory against the aliens. Small but important. Back at Luna Base, Commander Dong Yun was coordinating rescue operations. The aliens had not attacked Earth directly yet, but they were destroying everything else in the solar system. Sir, reported Lieutenant Park, we're getting more information from our spy missions. The aliens have 3 types of ships. Big ones for major attacks, medium ones for patrol, and small ones for scouting. What about their weapons? The big ships have the powerful energy beams. Medium ships have missile launchers. Scout ships only have light weapons. Dongyun studied the tactical display. They're organized like a military. Chain of command, specialized roles, standard procedures. Is that good or bad for us? Both. Military organization is efficient, but it's also predictable. If we can figure out their patterns, we can use them against the aliens. Dr. Minji called an emergency meeting. She had been working with alien technology for days, and she had made a breakthrough. The aliens are more advanced than us, but they think differently, she explained. Their technology is perfect for fighting other aliens. But we're not aliens. We think in ways they don't expect. Explain, said Admiral Choi. Their shields are designed to stop large, powerful attacks. Our small fighters should bounce off them harmlessly, but if we hit them at exactly the right moment with exactly the right frequency, we can disrupt their entire system. How many fighters would we need? All of them. Every single fighter we have attacking at the same time. It was humanity's plan. Thousands of small fighters all attacking together, using the aliens' own technology against them. It was desperate and dangerous, but it was also the only hope they had. Admiral Choi Hyunwoo stood in the war room deep beneath Seoul. On the massive screen before him, thousands of red dots represented human fighters spreading across the solar system. Today was the day humanity would strike back. Operation Stingray is a go, he announced to his commanders. All pilots, this is Admiral Choi. Today we show these aliens that humans do not go quietly into the night. Squadron leader, Im Junho checked his fighter systems one final time. Around him, 500 other pilots were doing the same. They were the first wave, the tip of the spear that would pierce the alien formation. Phoenix Squadron, this is Junho. Sound off. Phoenix 2, ready. Phoenix 3, ready. One by one, his pilots confirmed they were prepared. These were Earth's best fighters, volunteers who knew they might not return home. Remember the plan, Junho told them. We hit them fast, we hit them hard, and we scatter before they can respond. No heroes today. We're not trying to win the war in one battle. The alien fleet was spread across 3 sectors near Mars. Intelligence reports showed they were preparing for a final assault on Earth. Humanity had to strike first. Captain An Ji-young led the bomber wing from her position behind the fighter screen. Her ships carried the new phase bombs that Dr. Minji had developed. These weapons could pass through alien shields and explode inside enemy ships. Bomber Command, we have target locks on the alien cruisers, she reported. Weapons are armed and ready. Copy that, Ji-young. Wait for the fighters to create an opening. The first wave of human fighters approached the alien fleet at maximum speed. The aliens detected them immediately and began turning their massive ships to face the threat. Here they come, called pilot Lee Minho from his position on the right flank. I count 30 alien ships moving to intercept. The alien ships were fast for their size, but they were still huge and slow compared to human fighters. As the two forces closed, the aliens opened fire with their energy weapons. Beams of deadly light lanced through space, missing the human fighters by meters. The pilots were flying in the chaotic patterns they had practiced, changing direction, constantly to avoid the alien targeting systems. Stay unpredictable, Junho shouted over the comm. Don't let them lock onto you. Lieutenant Nam Dae-hyun was flying point for his squadron when he saw something that made his blood run cold. The alien ships were launching smaller vessels, fighters of their own. All units, we have alien fighters incoming. They're fast and there are a lot of them. The alien fighters were sleek and deadly, much more maneuverable than the big ships, but they flew in perfect formation, maintaining exact distances and following precise attack patterns. They're flying like robots, observed pilot Oh Youngmin, same as their scouts. Then we fight them like we fought the scouts, replied Dae-hyun. Use their predictability against them. The first dogfight between human and alien fighters began near the asteroid belt. The aliens attacked in waves, each wave following the same approach pattern. The human pilots scattered in all directions, making it impossible for the aliens to target them effectively. Youngman found himself facing 3 alien fighters at once. Instead of running, he did something unexpected. He flew straight at them, then dove under their formation at the last second. The alien ships couldn't adjust fast enough and collided with each other. "Scratch 3 bogeys," Youngman reported. "These things can't handle close combat." Meanwhile, the main battle was reaching its peak. Human fighters swarmed around the alien, capital ships like angry wasps. The aliens were firing everything they had, but the small human ships were too fast and too numerous. "Bomber Wing, you have your opening," Junho called out. "Hit them now." Captain Ji-young led her bombers through the chaos of the battle. Her ships were bigger and slower than the fighters, but they carried the weapons that could really hurt the aliens. "Target the command ship," she ordered. "All bombers, focus fire on the flagship." The phase bombs worked exactly as Dr. Minji had promised. They passed through the alien shields like they weren't there and exploded deep inside the enemy. "Ships." The alien flagship shuddered as multiple explosions tore through its hull. "Direct hits," called Ji-young's weapons officer. "The flagship is taking heavy damage." But the aliens were learning too. The remaining ships began firing their weapons in random patterns, creating walls of energy that the human fighters couldn't penetrate. "They're adapting," reported Lieutenant Bae Soman. "The energy walls are blocking our attack runs." Worse, more alien ships were arriving from the outer system, fresh reinforcements that hadn't been damaged in the battle. "All units, this is Admiral Choi. New contacts approaching from Sector 7. Estimated 200 ships." The human pilots looked at their fuel gauges and ammunition counters. They had been fighting for 2 hours and were running low on everything. "Phoenix Leader, we need to withdraw," called one of Junho's pilots. "We're almost out of missiles." Junho didn't want to retreat, but he knew the pilot was right. They had hurt the aliens badly, but they couldn't win a long battle against superior numbers. "All human forces, this is Phoenix Leader. Begin withdrawal. Sequence. We've done what we came to do." The human ships began pulling back from the battle, but the aliens weren't finished with them yet. The damaged flagship was still operational and its captain was angry. The alien ship fired its main weapon at the retreating human force. The energy beam was massive, bright enough to be seen from Earth. It struck a group of human fighters that couldn't escape in time. Colonel Shin Min-hyuk was leading that group. He saw the beam coming and knew his pilots couldn't outrun it. "All units scatter," he ordered. "Get out of here." "Colonel, you need to evade too," called his wingman. "Negative. Someone has to buy you time." Min-hyuk turned his fighter around and flew straight at the alien flagship. He fired every weapon he had and pushed his engines beyond their safety limits. His ship became a missile aimed at the alien bridge. The collision destroyed both Min-hyuk's fighter and the alien command center. The flagship's lights went dark as its systems failed. "Colonel Min-hyuk is down," reported a surviving pilot. "He took out their command ship." The retreat continued, but the cost had been terrible. Of the 3,000 human fighters that began the battle, only 1,800 returned to base. The aliens had lost 12 ships, including their flagship, but they still had thousands more. Back on Earth, the results of Operation Stingray were studied carefully. Dr. Song Minji analyzed the battle data while Admiral Choi planned the next move. "We proved we can hurt them," Minji said. "But we also learned they can adapt quickly. Next time they'll be ready for our tactics." "Then we'll have to come up with new tactics," Choi replied. "The important thing is that we're still fighting. As long as we keep fighting, we have hope." Captain Yoon Tae-ho, who had survived the battle, was already working on improvements to the fighter design. The alien weapons had been more effective than expected. "We need better shields," he told the engineers, "and faster engines. The aliens are learning, so we have to learn faster." Lieutenant Park Min-soo was analyzing communication intercepts from the alien fleet. During the battle, the aliens had transmitted thousands of messages to each other. "I think I'm starting to understand their language," he told Commander Dong-hyun. "They call us something that translates to chaotic ones. They don't understand how we think." "Good," Dong-hyun said. "Let's keep it that way." The first major battle between humans and aliens was over. Both sides had learned valuable lessons. The aliens now knew that humans were dangerous despite their inferior technology. The humans knew they could hurt the aliens. but at a terrible cost. The war was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. Major Ryu Seung-ho stared at the neural interface helmet on his desk. It looked like a normal pilot helmet, but inside was technology that would change everything. The helmet could connect a pilot's mind directly to their fighter's computer systems. You sure this is safe?" asked Dr. Song Minji. She had helped design the system, but she was still worried about the risks. "Safe?" Seung-ho laughed bitterly. "Nothing is safe anymore. The aliens are winning this war. We need something that gives us an edge." The Phoenix Protocol was humanity's desperate answer to the alien advantage in speed and firepower. When a pilot wore the neural helmet, their thoughts became one with their ship. They could react as fast as any alien computer. But the cost was high. Early tests showed that pilots who used the system too long suffered permanent brain damage. Some even died from the mental strain. "I volunteered to be the first test pilot," said Captain Oh Youngman. He had become one of humanity's best fighter aces after the first battle. "If this can help us win, I'll take the risk." Seung-ho shook his head. "I designed it. I tested first." The test flight took place in the asteroid belt, far from both human and alien forces. Seung-ho climbed into his modified fighter and put on the neural helmet. As soon as it activated, everything changed. He could feel the ship around him like it was part of his body. The engines were his legs, the weapons were his arms, the sensors were his eyes. When he thought about turning left, the ship turned instantly. No delay, no waiting for controls to respond. "Phoenix Control, this is Seung-ho. The interface is working perfectly. I can think faster than I've ever thought before." But the real test came when a group of alien scouts appeared. They had been hunting for human ships in the asteroid field. Now they found one. The alien ships moved to attack in their usual formation. But Seung-ho was no longer limited by human reflexes. His ship danced between the asteroids like a living thing, dodging alien fire that should have been impossible to avoid. He destroyed all 3 alien scouts in less than 2 minutes. It was the fastest combat victory in human history. "Phoenix Control, this is Seung-ho. Mission accomplished. The Phoenix Protocol works." Word of the successful test spread quickly through the human fleet. Volunteers lined up to try the new system, even knowing the dangers. Wing Commander Han Ji-soo was one of them. "I've been fighting these aliens for months," she told Seung-ho. "I've lost too many good pilots. If this neural link can save lives, I want it." Han became the leader of the 1st Phoenix Squadron, an elite unit of pilots using the new technology. They trained in secret while the aliens continued their advance toward Earth. The aliens had changed their tactics too. They no longer used the large formations that human swarm attacks could overwhelm. Instead, they spread their ships across the solar system in small groups. Each group was independent and could adapt quickly to human attacks. Lieutenant Moon Chae-young discovered this during a reconnaissance mission near Jupiter. She was leading a normal squadron, not equipped with Phoenix Protocol, when they encountered an alien patrol. "This is different," she reported to base. "The aliens are using new tactics. Their ships are working together better than before." The alien patrol was only 6 ships, but they moved like parts of a single organism. When Chae-young's fighters attacked from one direction, the aliens instantly repositioned to counter the threat. They were learning to fight like humans, using flexibility instead of raw power. "We're taking heavy losses," called one of Chae-young's pilots. "These aliens are not like the ones we fought before." Chae-young realized they were facing evolved alien tactics. The enemy had studied human combat methods and developed counters for them. The old swarm attacks wouldn't work anymore. "All units withdraw," she ordered. "We need to report this to command." But the aliens weren't finished. As the human fighters retreated, the alien patrol followed them. They were no longer content to defend their positions. They were hunting. Admiral Choi received Chae-young's report with growing concern. The aliens were adapting faster than expected. Soon humanity's current tactics would be useless. "We need the Phoenix Squadron ready now," he told Major Seung-ho. "How many pilots do we have?" 12 operational pilots, sir. We're training more, but the process takes time. 12 pilots against thousands of alien ships," Choi said quietly. "It's not enough." "It might be, sir. These aren't normal pilots anymore. Each Phoenix pilot can do the work of 10 regular pilots. The first real test of the Phoenix Squadron came during the Battle of Europa. The aliens had attacked Jupiter's moon with a fleet of 50 ships. They planned to use Europa as a base for their final assault on Earth. Captain Youngman led the Phoenix Squadron into battle. His neural interface helmet hummed with power as his mind merged with his fighter. Around him, 11 other pilots shared the same enhanced connection. Phoenix Squadron, this is Youngman. Remember, we're not just faster now, we're smarter. Use your enhanced thinking to predict what the aliens will do. The battle began unlike any fight before it. The Phoenix pilots moved with impossible precision, their ships flowing through space like liquid metal. They could anticipate alien movements seconds before they happened, but the aliens had surprises too. They deployed new weapons that fired, energy nets trying to trap the human fighters. The nets were designed to stop fast-moving targets. Phoenix 2 is caught in an energy net, reported one pilot. I can't break free. Phoenix 7 moving to assist, called another pilot. The trapped pilot's neural interface began to overload from the stress. His brain couldn't handle the constant connection while under alien attack. He began to scream over the comm. Phoenix 2 is down, Youngman reported. Neural interface failure. The pilot is unconscious. It was the first casualty of the Phoenix protocol in combat. The pilot survived, but his mind was damaged permanently. He would never fly again. Despite the loss, the Phoenix Squadron completed their mission. They destroyed the alien fleet and saved Europa, but the victory felt hollow when they counted the cost. Back on Earth, Dr. Minji was working on improvements to the neural interface. The current system was too dangerous for long battles. We need to limit the connection time, she told her team. No pilot should be linked for more than 30 minutes at a time. Engineer Kang Seojin had a different idea. What if we don't link individual pilots? What if we link entire squadrons together? A group mind? Minji considered the possibility. It might work. If the mental load is shared between multiple pilots, no single brain takes all the stress. Meanwhile, the aliens were preparing their own surprise. Long-range sensors detected massive ships approaching from deep space. The alien reinforcements had arrived, doubling the size of their fleet. Commander Dong Yun studied the intelligence, reports with growing alarm. They're not just bringing more ships, he told Admiral Choi. They're bringing their best ships. These new vessels are twice the size of anything we've seen before. Can our Phoenix pilots handle them? I don't know. Sir, we've never faced anything this large. The stage was set for the war's climactic battle. Humanity had developed new technology that could match alien capabilities, but at a terrible cost to the pilots who used it. The aliens had brought their most powerful ships to end the war once and for all. Lieutenant Park Min-soo intercepted alien communications about the coming battle. What he learned chilled him to the bone. Sir, he told Dong-yun, the aliens are calling this their final solution. They plan to destroy Earth completely. No more games, no more testing our defenses. They want to end us. As the alien reinforcements took position around Earth, both sides prepared for the battle that would decide humanity's fate. The Phoenix Squadron was ready, but there were still only 12 of them. Against thousands of alien ships, even enhanced human pilots might not be enough. The turning point had come. Now humanity would discover if their greatest weapon, the power of the human mind, could overcome impossible odds. The alien fleet surrounded Earth like a metal storm. 5,000 ships of every size filled the space around humanity's homeworld. Admiral Choi Hyun-woo watched from the command center as the largest invasion force in galactic history prepared to attack. Sir, all human forces are in position, reported Commander Dong-yun. Every pilot we have is ready for battle. Choi nodded grimly. Humanity had gathered everything they could find. Military fighters, civilian ships, even training craft from the academies. Old pilots came out of retirement. Young cadets who should have had years more training were given weapons and sent to fight. How many ships do we have total? Choi asked. 4,000, sir, but most are not military grade. 4,000 human ships against 5,000 alien vessels. The numbers were almost even, but the alien ships were much more powerful. Each alien cruiser could destroy 10 human fighters. Captain O. Youngman led the Phoenix Squadron from his position near the moon. His neural interface helmet felt heavy on his head. He knew this would be the last battle. Either humanity would win today, or there would be no tomorrow. Phoenix Squadron, final systems check, he called to his pilots. Phoenix 2, ready for neural link. Phoenix 3, ready for neural link. One by one, his squadron confirmed they were prepared. Dr. Song Minji had made improvements to the Phoenix protocol. Now the pilots could share their mental connection. Instead of 12 separate, enhanced minds, they would become one group consciousness. Beginning. Neural link in 3, 2, 1. The connection activated and Youngman felt his mind expand. Suddenly he could think with the processing power of 12 brains. He could see through 12 sets of eyes, feel 12 ships as if they were his own body. It was overwhelming and wonderful at the same time. Phoenix Squadron is fully linked, he reported to Admiral Choi. We are ready. Across the solar system, Captain Kim Ji-won was preparing for her own mission. She had survived the first alien attack and had been fighting ever since. Her ship was no longer the diplomatic vessel Harmony. Now she flew a heavy bomber loaded with humanity's most powerful weapons. Ghost Squadron, this is Ji-won. Remember, we only get one chance at this. The aliens won't expect a stealth attack during the main battle. Her squadron was equipped with new cloaking technology developed from captured alien equipment. They could become invisible to enemy sensors for short periods. The plan was to strike the alien command ships while the main battle kept them distracted. Lieutenant Park Min-soo was monitoring alien communications from his station on Luna Base. During the past weeks, he had learned enough of their language to understand basic commands. Sir, he told Dong-yun, the aliens are calling this Operation Final Silence. They plan to destroy Earth completely, then hunt down any human survivors in the outer colonies. How long until they attack? 1 hour, sir. They're waiting for their battle formations to be perfect. The hour passed like a year. Across Earth, people watched the sky and saw alien ships blotting out the stars. Children cried, adults prayed. Soldiers checked their weapons one last time. Then the battle began. The aliens attacked first, as they always did. Thousands of energy beams lanced down from space toward Earth's cities. But this time, humanity was ready. The planet's new shield generators, built using alien technology, absorbed most of the attack. Shields are holding, reported the defense coordinator. But they won't last long under this kind of bombardment. Admiral Choi gave the order. All human forces, engage the enemy. Show them what we're made of. The space around Earth erupted into the largest battle in human history. 4,000 human ships launched themselves at the alien fleet. They flew in the chaotic patterns that had become humanity's signature, impossible for alien computers to predict. The Phoenix Squadron led the charge. With their shared consciousness, they moved like a single organism. Youngman could feel what all his pilots were thinking and doing. When one pilot had an idea, all 12 pilots knew it instantly. Target the alien flagship, Youngman thought, and all his pilots understood. They dove through the alien formation, dodging energy beams and missile strikes. Their enhanced reflexes made them nearly impossible to hit. Captain An Ji-young led her bomber wing against the alien heavy cruisers. The new phase bombs were working better than ever. They passed through alien shields and exploded inside the enemy ships, causing massive damage. Direct hit on alien cruiser 7, she reported. The ship is breaking apart. But the aliens were fighting back harder than ever before. Their new ships had weapons that could track multiple targets at once. They filled space with energy nets and explosive mines, making it dangerous for human fighters to maneuver. Pilot Nam Dae-hyun found himself trapped between two alien destroyers. His fighter was fast, but not fast enough to escape the crossfire between two enemy ships. This is Dae-hyun. I'm pinned down. Need assistance. Dae-hyun, this is Sergeant Lee Min-ho. I'm coming to help. Min-ho's fighter swooped in from above, firing missiles at one of the alien ships. The distraction gave Dae-hyun the chance to escape, but Min-ho's ship was caught in the alien return fire. Min-ho is hit. Daehyun reported. He's going down. Negative, came Minho's voice over the comm. I'm not going down. I'm going through. Minho pushed his damaged fighter to maximum speed and rammed it into the alien destroyer's bridge. The explosion took out both ships, but it saved dozens of other human fighters. Meanwhile, Captain Jiwon's stealth squadron was approaching the alien command ship. The massive vessel was 20 kilometers long and protected by the strongest shields the aliens had ever built. Ghost Squadron, remember the plan? Jiwon whispered. We hit them fast and hard, then get out before they know what happened. The stealth ships became visible only when they opened fire. Dozens of phase bombs struck the alien flagship at the same moment. The explosions tore through the ship's hull, causing secondary explosions that lit up space like a new star. Command ship is heavily damaged, reported Jiwon's weapons officer, but it's still operational. Then we hit it again, Jiwon said. All ships, second attack run. The Phoenix Squadron was in the thick of the battle when Youngmin felt something change in the alien formation. Through his enhanced awareness, he could sense the aliens becoming confused and disorganized. The command ship is losing control, he realized. Their fleet coordination is breaking down. This was humanity's chance. Youngmin sent the information to every human ship in the battle through the quantum communication network. Within seconds, all 4,000 human vessels knew about the alien weakness. All ships focus fire on the command vessels, Admiral Choi ordered. Hit them while they're confused. The human fleet swarmed the alien command ships like angry bees. The aliens tried to regroup, but without their central coordination, they couldn't respond effectively to the human attacks. Then something unexpected happened. A new group of ships appeared at the edge of the battle. At first, everyone thought they were alien reinforcements, but Lieutenant Park identified them through the communication intercepts. Sir, those aren't alien ships, he told Admiral Choi. They're the prisoners from the first attacks. Captain Park Min-soo is leading them. The original Captain Park Min-soo, thought dead when his diplomatic ship was destroyed, had actually been captured by the aliens. For months, he and other human prisoners had been studying alien technology from the inside. Now they had stolen alien ships and joined the battle. Earth Command, this is the original Harmony crew, came Park's voice over the comm. We're back, and we brought friends. The captured alien ships attacked their former fleet from behind. The aliens found themselves caught between two human forces, unable to defend against attacks from all directions. The tide of battle turned decisively in humanity's favor. One by one, alien ships began to retreat toward the edge of the solar system. Their formation collapsed as ship captains decided to save themselves rather than continue the hopeless fight. Alien fleet is in full retreat, reported Commander Dong-yun. They're abandoning the battle. But the alien admiral was not finished. The damaged flagship, with its last working weapon, aimed at Earth itself. If the aliens could not conquer humanity, they would destroy the planet. Captain Youngmin saw the alien weapon charging and knew what he had to do. Phoenix Squadron with me. We stop that ship or Earth dies. The 12 Phoenix pilots flew straight at the alien flagship. Their shared consciousness allowed them to coordinate perfectly, dodging the ship's defensive fire. They reached the weapon just as it was about to fire. All Phoenix pilots, maximum power to weapons, Youngmin commanded. Fire everything. 12 fighters fired all their missiles and energy weapons at the same time. The combined attack overwhelmed the alien weapons, defenses, and destroyed it in a massive explosion. The flagship, its main weapon gone, finally retreated with the rest of the alien fleet. The Battle of Earth was over. Humanity had won. In the aftermath, as the human fleet regrouped and counted their losses, Admiral Choi addressed the survivors. Today we proved that the human spirit cannot be conquered. We showed the galaxy that Earth is not helpless prey. We are a force to be respected. The aliens would return to their empire with news of humanity's strength. Never again would they underestimate the small blue planet and its determined inhabitants. The war was over, but humanity's journey